Okay, here we are. This is lesson 10 of how to draw a Ford Fusion. And as you can see, like I told you, what I was going to try and work on the wheels and tires today. And I got pretty close on the left front, but did not get the back one at all. So I'm not finished the left front either, but it's basically enough to get it started with. So I'm going to leave it for now, do the rear one, and then in the final wrap up, we'll go back and bring it up to where it should be to make it look completed. But I just wanted to get to a higher level of completion on the whole car, so I thought it would be worthwhile to do it this way, to work on the wheels and tires partially, and then like I say, we'll come back and we'll finish them up in the end inspection and wrap up. But going so far so good. These are really straightforward aluminum wheels, so there wasn't too awfully much to them. It has 5 lug nuts in it, and I did not put the Ford emblem in the middle because it's so small I can't even see on this photograph, so I kind of left it out. But the general shape of it is correct, and the general shape of the car is good too. Also, I worked on the left front fender too, where it actually forms the wheel well on the front edge. So did a little bit more on that and refined that edge a little bit too. As you can see, the wheel's pretty straightforward. Like I say, it's just 5 spokes, and they're like double spokes, but they just have a slot in them in the middle of the spoke. So it wasn't too awfully hard to reproduce that. And this isn't exact. It's just close enough to give the idea of what the impression of what the wheel looks like. And same thing with the tire. I don't like to put in a lot of details in tires. I just like to get them to the point that they look like they could be a tire. I really don't care much about tires. And all I do is, because they're like a donut shape, I just try and get the shading right and then work from there around it, and most of the time they look fine. But to spend too much time on them, I think, is more or less a waste of time. I don't put treads in if I can help it. I usually try to keep all that part in shadow so I don't have to worry about it. And because the sunlight comes from the top, on the tire there are 2 different sections that get the light on them, and those are the very top part and the top part of the lower part of the tire. So depending on whether it's on the upper part of the rim or on the lower part of the rim, you'll get a shadow that's cast because of the sidewall flexing outward. There'll be a shadow underneath it, and that will be both at the top of the tire and at the bottom of the tire. So if you take a look at this, you'll see how that works out. And if you go outside and take a look at your tires, you'll see how it works out too. But if you just imagine that it is a donut, a black donut, and then figure out from there how that's going to be impacted by having sunlight flowing on it. And of course, they are black, so they're never going to be truly white. They're just going to be lighter or darker in some places. So it's a matter of balancing color values one against the other again. But like I said, this is not the complete color that all these parts are going to be. We're going to do one wrap up, and then when we do that, it will definitely change some of these things. I mean, I can guarantee right now there are quite a few pieces I see in the car that are going to end up darker than they are now. But this gives me a start at it, and that's what we're looking for right now. There we go. Starting to look pretty good. This is a real good looking car. I mean, I read a report the other day, and it was from an American car magazine, and they said for an American car, this is kind of like a mid-range car or lower end car. But they said in Europe their emphasis is trying to make a more of an upper end car. So it's very hard to figure out how to spec this car in order to make it appeal to everybody in the world when all of us have different ideals or even um, impressions of what this car is. So I guess it's a real challenge when you market cars, the same cars all over the world. But that's what Ford does, and I guess they're pretty successful at it too. They sell an awful lot of cars worldwide, so they must be doing something right. Okay, getting on down to it now, putting a little more shading on the wheel too. Yep, nearly down to the end. Well, we'll do a lot less detail on the rear wheel because I don't care very much about it. And if you come back tomorrow, we'll probably finish that wheel and tire, and we'll be real close to the end of this. I hope to see you then. Thank you very much. Bye.